Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Weidlein. Today we're going to be discussing PICO and how we can use this framework for focused clinical questions and efficient evidence searching. So, what is PICO? In healthcare, we're often dealing with a lot of information at once. PICO helps break that down into four key parts: population, intervention, comparison, and outcome. The goal is to turn complex situations into clear questions we can actually search. A note on the P in PICO: you may see it defined as patient, problem, or population, depending on the source. These terms are used slightly differently, but they all point to the same idea: who is affected and what conditions or issues they are experiencing. Not all questions are the same. Background questions are general, like asking what a condition is. Foreground questions are more complex and involve clinical decision making. PICO is designed specifically for foreground questions because it helps organize key elements of clinical scenarios. The patient intervention define the main focus of the question, while comparison and outcome help refine what we're trying to evaluate. Now, to review, let's go over the elements one more time in greater detail. P would be our patient/problem, which simply means who is affected by what. I is our intervention, which is how we treat the problem. C is our comparison, which is a chance for us to explore alternative conditions or placebo. And lastly, O is our outcome, in which we establish our goal of using intervention on the patient/problem. Now, let's try to apply this framework. Let's look at an example. We have a patient here who suffers from chronic insomnia and is considering melatonin to improve sleep. Now, there's a lot of information that we can focus on when looking at the full scenario, so PICO helps us identify what actually matters. So let's make it simple by breaking it down into PICO. The patient is someone with chronic insomnia. The intervention is melatonin. The comparison is placebo or no treatment. And the outcome is improved sleep quality. These steps help us filter out any unnecessary details. Here's what really matters when we try to apply this in practice. When searching, we simplify. I usually start with just the patient and intervention, so in this case, chronic insomnia and melatonin. I leave out the comparison at first because relevant studies will still show up without them. I also just focus on nouns and remove extra words like improve. If I get too many results, then I add the outcome like sleep quality. This step is how librarians actually turn PICO into effective database searches. Now, we turn those elements into clinical questions. We start with the scenario of a patient with chronic insomnia starts melatonin to improve sleep quality, and we can now transform it into, in patients with chronic insomnia, is melatonin more effective than placebo in improving sleep quality? The goal is to be clear, specific, and focused on the outcomes. So, in conclusion, PICO is a simple but powerful tool that helps turn complex scenarios into clear, searchable questions. By starting simple and refining as needed, you can make your research faster and more effective. Thank you all for listening. Here are some of my citations in case you want to do any further research, and a special thank you to SlidesGo and Videoplasty for all the visuals in this presentation. Thank you.